this will actually be the second one I did this because the first one's quality was super bad. I'm hoping this will be a little bit better. So this is a prototype I was messing around with today and a little bit yesterday. This is it's a prototype for a game that I want to make coming up. I'm taking a class next semester that is a workshop class, and at some point we're going to be pitching games. I want to pitch a third-person shooter. I'm willing to go first-person shooter as well, but a third-person shooter where it's a kind of based on a sci-fi type game where you'll be like inside of a computer manipulating data and stuff and fighting against a computer virus. So go ahead and start moving around first. So this is all. This was well, not all. A lot of this stuff was already built into UE4. By that I primarily just mean the materials, meshes, and the animations and stuff. I did pretty much all the functionality. The move forward, move backside, and jump. I didn't do that, and the camera movement like this. That's already comes standard in any of the first person, third person, any of the like starting points. So I didn't feel like messing with it to just waste time. So this is kind of what I'm working with right now. This is just kind of like even a prototype of a prototype, kind of, because we'll have to do a much more advanced prototype than this. But so you can see I have this little orb beside me, and when I click, I can shoot these little projectiles at the center of the screen. And so they're it's just a material that I modified on a little cube. It's just pretty much just a placeholder. I do kind of like the cubed looks. I want it to kind of be data-y. That would depend on the rest of the overall look, though. And there's just a little particle effect on it and stuff. That went like fast. There's this little particle effect on it. Also, that came with UE4 as well. The particle effect. I did modify it for a different one, but so what you see here is it just shoots at the center of the screen no matter where you look, which is really cool. It's single click right now. Later on, the way I want this to work is that sorry to interrupt myself. Also, they bounce and stuff, but they also do delete after I think it's 3 seconds. So yep, there. So that way it doesn't clutter up anything. But part of the way I wanted this to work is there's going to be enemies that require you to hit them with your gun. Which would be effectively this right now. And the gun you'll actually use 4 guns in the end of the game. Currently, I just have 2 different ones. You can see here, this is the red gun or whatever, and here's the blue gun. And so it's just a couple of materials I modified, and I modified the particle effect also so it matches, and the little ball particle effect to show that you would change what your color of your gun or the shape of your gun or the look of your gun or something of your weapon to indicate that you are switching the different weapon. Probably just a material change. That's what all I'm doing. I'm not actually changing the color. I'm changing to a completely different material. And so, but they would all start out, as a kind of a semi-automatic pistol type thing. But each one has their own individual upgrade paths, and in each upgrade path you can choose between shotgun, sniper rifle, assault rifle, and stuff like that. So you'll end up being able to, so you can upgrade all your guns to be like assault rifles, or you could upgrade all your guns to be like sniper rifles, or you could upgrade 2 to be like assault rifles, 2 to be like sniper rifles, some to be like shotguns, pistols, however you want to do it, for each individual of your 3 guns. And there'll be enemies that will be chasing on stuff in the game that are actually going to be color related, so you have to hit them with their own individual color. And so would also like to do enemies of multiple colors. That way you can like destroy parts of them, then have to destroy other parts. Maybe that will be restricted specifically for bosses. That may be a better consideration for down the line. It depends how kind of everything works out. But another I'm kind of rambling at this point. But another big point about this is I want to show you is that I want everything to be manipulatable. Because I want your character in specifically in the game is not actually a robot. It's actually being a person kind of trying to fix the virus in their program, who's a programmer and stuff. And so they're modifying all the data. So these just represent columns of data and bits and stuff like that. So I want you to be able to move them, pull them up, down. So this it's just taking a reference from their current position, moving it with an ease in, ease out, based on their reference to their own individual like up vectors or up vectors, I guess. Forward vector would be the opposite side, or like that direction, I guess. But so you can push them up, down, and you keep going down. The material kind of stretches, but I like the way it looks actually. It looks kind of cool in my opinion. So you'll be able to use this to kind of manipulate the world and use it to your advantage. There be walking enemies, flying enemies, and so say for instance you had some walking enemies coming at you. So I'm gonna lift up for a second because it's easier. You can actually see I can bring them up while I'm above them. So I think that seems cool to me. Like I feel like a lot more powerful when I can pull them up from the ground as opposed to having to be standing on top of them. That's how I had it at first, and it seemed really odd. But so since I can do this, I'm gonna try to do it like this. Push this down, and there we go. Okay, I almost push this one down. Oh, I pushed that one down twice. That's what I did. Okay, it's kind of hard because I'm using a mouse and keyboard, so I'm using 1, 2, 3, 4 as my manipulators. I'll show you what 3 and 4 are for in a second. But so right now it's kind of hard. It says preview on my back. So what you would do with this is, so maybe you lure all the walking ones into here, and then they fall into here, and then that would not work. They fall into here, and you lift back up, and then after you lift back up, they're all stuck in there still, and you can kind of just fire in there and just rain bullets on them and just bounce all the bullets around and stuff, and they'd get destroyed by the bullets. Another cool thing that maybe something that would come into like the standardized means of playing the game is you can actually use these because they are applying force. You can actually use these to jump higher. So look at that. Like compared to, it's kind of hard to tell because there's a lot of different greens. But see, here's my normal jump. Okay, normal jump. Now let's go up, and then there's my next jump. Quite a bit higher. And if you actually time it better, there we go. That's a good jump. I'll push this one back down so it doesn't get stuck too high. So then I want everything to be manipulatable. So I'm getting a little tongue-tied right now. So there will be destructible meshes and stuff to mess with also, but this is kind of just the generalized idea behind it. So there's also these ones, the wall ones. You can move the wall ones in and out as well. I hit the wrong button. There we go. So I'll push that back in, and you push him back farther. There's nothing under him right now. It's just empty. It's just like I said, this is all just a prototype messing around inside Unity for the upcoming semester. Try to get some ideas out of my head and onto a digital format. They do cross through each other right now. I'll have to add some kind of ray trace, or I think they're like channel paths or something, or line channels in UE4, I think, to make sure that there's not something in front of it, so you can't move it when there's something blocking its path or whatever. That way you don't get like weird stuff. Let me see. Here we go. Pull this one forward, pull this one up, and I can step back here, and I'll pull this one forward again and pull it forward again. Yeah, see? Now it's inside of this one. So it doesn't look very nice. It actually, I mean, to some extent it does look cool, but then you get this Z fighting and just, But so yeah, you can actually see I've already started to show like what I'm trying to get at here is like kind of creating my own like play world or whatever, like my own environment and stuff. So I can create these different venues for how I want to. Oh, I pulled another one up. It looked really weird. How I want these this environments to actually work out in the end, and so. So yeah, that's pretty much it as far as what I got going on so far. I just have the 2 because since it is a prototype, it's just showing how it works, not every feature, just showing how each feature individually would work, which is why I have the push and pull and stuff going on. I would like explodable like pillars stuff. I was thinking, kind of like you ever see like a computer chip and they have those like electronic nodes that kind of stick out. I'm not exactly sure what they are because I'm not a engineer or anything like that. So they have those like little. I would probably look it up if I was going to when it comes time to actually write up the game design document and stuff, of course. But they have those little nodes those little black nodes that stick out of the the little computer chip, and we could probably make those like that you can destroy them and they'll explode, so you can use them as explosive devices and stuff like that, and manipulate everything around. But so that's pretty much it. So I just want to show this to, and I know I have a couple people on my friends list who will appreciate it, so I just wanted to put it on there. And for those of you who like understand what actually I'm trying to get at with it, and then also like I said, just to get some of my thoughts out on the table, and just in case I don't have this for a different day or anything like that. So I will talk to you all later at some point, because I will probably be putting a lot more videos up once the semester starts and showing progress on not only this game, but I have another game that me and just one of my other friends are working on, which I'm really excited about. Actually, one of the reasons I wanted to get this done was because I wanted to show him this video before we met up tomorrow. But tomorrow we're going to meet up for another game, which is going to be a horror game, kind of a cross between Five Nights at Freddy's and Slender Man. So if everything works out, it's going to be pretty creepy. But alright, so everybody, you'll have a good night, and I will see you all later.